Hi guys, Arica Angelo, your dating and relationship expert, and I have the privilege of being with founder and CEO of Magnet, the new dating app that everyone's talking about, and I'm so excited to be talking to you today, Alessandro. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. We're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sex. And what better than with the new movie coming out, 50 Shades Darker, and all the men are like, what is it about this and sex and what is it that women want? And we just want to break it down and tell you the truth. So I'm actually going to ask you some questions if you don't mind. Do you feel like men have shame when it comes to sex? Like, is there this shame that comes with it where you feel like men are a bit beaten down by that?
Well, it depends. If a man is talking to another man, I say no. Okay. Even a stranger. Okay. Honestly, you can approach somebody on the street with a smile and start talking about, oh, what do you think that goes? Oh, yeah. And then you can ask him everything.
Totally.
It's like the locker room talk.
Locker room banter.
Yeah, it's like, because, we all know we like it.
Right.
And there is no shame in society to talk about it.
Right.
While for the women, unfortunately, girls are like, if you're talking about sex, oh, that's not like what a lady supposed to do.
Right.
So in that case, a man could have problem to talk to a girl, also for fear of embarrass her,
right,
or harass her.
Right.
Maybe she's not comfortable, especially with a stranger.
Sure.
To open and immediately talk about it. So if you want to talk about sex with a girl, you can do that, but you need to be able to ease the conversation instead of jumping.
Right.
I mean, unless she's the one coming to you, and it depends, of course, the scenario, if it's online, if it's offline, if it's at work, or, there are many situations. So just be careful,
right,
because something you should not, you don't want to find yourself in a situation where simply talking about sex at work and then HR is giving you a call, say, hey,
you're fired.
Yeah, no, it's especially here in the US, I'm from Italy, so it's slightly different.
Totally.
But again, be careful. So we are not exactly ashamed.
Okay.
We are cautious because of the repercussion that could happen,
right,
in case something is not like reciprocate. Even just about talking, it's not, I don't mean about like interacting in any way. Because the sexual harassment is even just asking, hey, what's your favorite position?
Right.
That's, it's a boundary you don't want to cross unless it's a mutual understanding. It's okay to do so.
So you're saying that men don't have real shame to talk about it, especially amongst each other, but with a woman they have to tiptoe. So this poses a different question. Do you think books and movies like 50 Shades of Grey are giving women more of a voice to talk about sex?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, now it's okay to be open about sexuality, even for a woman.
Right.
While if you would go back in decades, it was extremely taboo.
Right.
Now look at you. You're talking about sex, and you're still a lady.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's really like we are able to take away those stupid and honestly racist in a sexual way. It's like, oh no, you're a woman, you're not allowed to talk this topic.
Right.
It's really like misogyny if you think about it.
Right.
And the sad part is women are shaming other women for doing so.
Right.
It's not just the man thing.
Right.
Right. Most of the time, if you see like a girl like being a bit more open, even like showing too much, or the girls are like, oh, you're a slut. Stop it. That's not helping anyone. Not you as a girl.
Right.
And when a guy does that, I say, hey, no wonder like girls, they are not so open.
Right.
And you're the one that are actually not getting laid because of their reason.
Right.
This is huge in Italy. Honestly, it's like unbelievable because they don't understand it. The more you shame somebody, the less they're gonna do it, and that's exactly what you want. So why you're playing against yourself?
Right.
Makes no sense.
I get it. Let me ask you another thing. What do you feel like most men fail to get about a woman and her sexuality? Like, what are men missing?
In my opinion, it's about communication and storytelling.
Do tell.
Yeah, but communication is, again, first be sure she is willing to talk about those topics.
Yeah.
Second, you have to be open to talk about what's your experience.
Right.
You know, if you want to know what she's into, you should be the first to say what you're into.
So when you say that to me, I'm like to me it's common sense. It's like, yeah, you're the man, you're the leader. I want you to take charge when it comes to sex. If I have to lead it, then it's not as sexy.
Yeah, and it sounds weird, honestly, especially online. A girl is like immediately talking about sex. Okay, she's like a scammer. She wants something else.
Right.
So you need to ease the conversation into.
Right.
Like perhaps using nudity as a topic, you know, or other like related, or maybe a movie you watch and say, what do you think about it? Read an article on a magazine for women.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, I read about this. And there are many interesting things. They are psychological. So they are talking about relationship, and then you can easily connect to sexual aspect.
Okay.
Because you're getting there. So you can simply ease the conversation in that way, asking questions, but at the same time making statement. That's even more important. Like, oh yeah, I thought this was interesting. I actually, my experience of done this and that. So the women, they say, okay, she's so open to talk about that topic.
Right.
I'm gonna do the same.
Right.
But if you're the one asking without like giving,
contributing,
that's communication.
Totally.
And storytelling is describing situations, especially when you get more intimate.
Right.
Sexting, you know, you can actually turn on a girl by sexting way more than sending a dick pic.
Oh, dick pics are the worst.
Yeah, unless she's okay.
Unless you're in a relationship or you're pursuing each other, then it's exciting. But just sending one off the bat.
That's stupid, honestly. Probably
it is stupid.
You don't understand women, or probably you don't want to be with women at this point.
Yeah.
Because that's clearly a way to
sabotage
yourself.
Totally.
So maybe like, hey, be sure with yourself. Like, why you have to send out this?
So it's asking her questions, but also like giving your input as well, giving some statements, and then interlacing it with a story.
Yeah. So in my experience, for example, I was telling a story, and then basically what in the story is something that I would do to you.
Right.
In a subtle way.
Right.
So she's like, okay, that's a situation she's able to picture.
Yeah.
And that's when you get a girl.
Yeah.
That's why they read novels.
Right.
Novels, there's no pictures. They're only like in their mind. Because it's way more powerful than a visual stimulation. So if you can tell a story with you as a protagonist, basically, and she's part of the story, she's gonna see herself as a protagonist, like as a part of the center of the attention. Boom. That's from there to actually having sex. Step is super close.
So how can so like some guys who watch this, maybe they're not having sex. So how could they share a story with a woman? Could it be like an article they read or a story that they read?
Exactly.
It could be from fiction as well.
It could be a mix of fantasy, an article, a story. Maybe you say like, you know, I saw this movie, I thought it was cute, and then I like this, but why they're cutting the best part, you know? Like, so it start like teasing and getting into information. Even if you don't have experience, you have seen things, you've read things.
Right.
Make it up a bit. I'm not saying to lie, but hey, in this case, who cares? Honestly, I think reality, especially in this case, where you're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
If somebody wasn't there, no one else is gonna be tell you, oh, that's fake, that's real.
Right.
Just play around, you know. It's like again, it's storytelling. It's not exactly a lie. It's a story you tell. When you watch movies, they're not documentaries, you know. So they're telling, even if it's based on reality, they're not supposed to tell you exactly those facts.
Right.
I mean, now even like news are, you know, telling lies all the time. So
sure.
And again, if you're not hurting anyone, actually you get into a relationship, unless you know, lie about like your huge sexual experience, you know, that's eventually you end up saying, okay, this is not the case because
I was joking.
But at the same time, you know, it's important to try and step by step, eventually you get there.
I completely agree with you, the whole story aspect. I think that's why romance novels, why 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, why these things are just selling like hotcakes.
Yeah,
I think that
absolutely.
it is a way to a woman, is that experience of a story. I mean, as a woman reading a book like that, even though you're reading by yourself, can create arousal, can create
absolutely. Like,
heat and wetness and all of that.
yeah, it's again, the men are visual. That's why we like porn. I mean, girls like porn too,
Right.
but usually they prefer a story.
Yeah.
Like because again, the mind is even more powerful.
Right.
So they're able to visualize while reading. If you think about it, like the beauty of books, you're getting actually, it's like an acid trip just looking at
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
It's like-
That's wow, that's a really good illustration. I think too with a woman, you know, they say that women, like, we're so emotionally connected with sex, and it's not like we see something and we're like, yeah, let's get it on, boy. But it's a romance, it's a wooing in, and that's what a story does. It kind of romances a mind. It helps her like free herself of her inhibitions. She feels the safety of it, and she's allowed to kind of explore, because all those other things that would normally stifle her kind of get removed, and she can kind of immerse herself in that story and then feel the experience that story is bringing to her body.
Exactly. So even being able to understand, okay, I'm so important to him because I'm in this story.
Yes.
We've been telling stories since the really ancient age,
Right.
you know, around the fire.
Right.
You know, even like probably the first art on the caves.
Yeah.
Those were storytelling.
Absolutely.
You know, the first hand, you know, and then the powder.
Right.
We still have those in the
Right.
caves.
Right.
That was like a way to tell a story.
Yeah.
So that's part of us. It's really, it's part of our society at this point. And so if you can bring that element
Right.
into honestly everything, marketing, your job, whatever it is, tell stories to your friends. It could be a joke.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a story to make them laugh.
Yeah.
It could be really, even sports, they are like sometimes kind of straight one too. Then they use the background of the athletes to have a story.
Yeah.
It could be like a sex story about like their partners.
Right.
You know, it's so common that like
Right.
models and actresses are actually into this entertainment world because they need to tell a story.
Yeah.
They need.
Yeah.
For example, in Italy, they sometimes soccer is the biggest sport, so they don't have like a camera to tell if there was goal or not when the ball is like arriving to that point. So sometimes they spend hours after the game just to talk. Oh, was it true? Was it not? Just because the referee said so. But they do it on purpose.
Right.
With all technology, they could say, oh yeah, no, that was that's not true. Or like they were moving before they actually start doing this and that.
Right.
You know, the rules that otherwise with technology, with a camera there, will be able to tell. They want to bring storytelling after.
Yeah.
You know, about like, oh, it's true, it's not, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Same with election.
Yeah.
It's all about storytelling.
Totally.
You know, telling those stories. Most of the time they're lies because that's the way you get there, you know. But again, stories. So.
I think that's so good, man. I think that's the thing. You have to see, like, women are buying these books, they're racing to the movies, and you're like, what's the catch? And many guys have missed it. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey first came out, I remember this guy who's like, that's what women want. They want to be, you know, hit and this and that. And I'm like, you're clearly missing it.
Yeah.
They are immersed in the story. And so, guys, if you can do that, figure out how to bring stories that you've read about and share those with the woman. Bring her into the experience because she wants to be a part of that story, and it's your job to invite her in on that and to allow her to be aroused and awakened in the midst of that story. Alessandro, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You bet. And we're going to put the link to Magnet. Make sure that you download that to your phone because this is a new dating app that everyone's talking about, and I don't want you to miss it. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.